Well, guys, we're here on the big boat today. It's cold. Middle of January, it's probably 34 degrees outside. It's been really cold the past few days, but we're here to do a little bit of maintenance. I'm just kind of panning around here to show you. We've done a lot of upgrades to this boat. Haven't filmed a lot of them because we pretty much kind of have paid people to do them, since it's kind of hard to do some of this type of work we've done. I'll go over it here later on, but today, as I pan down, we're working on that guy right there. I'll show you what we're doing here, if I can find it. What are we gonna do with it? Oh, it's up here. The other day, I was out here before it got cold, and I was cleaning the strainers out. What the strainers do is that they take, because this inhales fresh water from the outside, and basically then use it to cool the engine. That's the generator. This is the exhaust pipe, and then back here is one of my motors. And then you see there's a water heater, and yeah, it's pretty rusty on the outside, but just because water tends to kind of drip down on it, it still works beautifully. But anyway, in order to do the strainer, you have to close the seacock, which is where it goes to the bottom of the boat so you don't flood and sink this thing. Well, when I put the strainer back in, I forgot to open the seacock, fired up the generator, ran it for probably 20-30 seconds, and realized that impeller was running dry. So guess what? I've got a brand new Kohler impeller, and we're going to change it out here in about 5 minutes. There it is. So what I noticed when I fired it up yesterday is I kind of come out here often when it's cold like this and run it, even though I do have a bilge heater in here to keep it above freezing. Need me an anal, I come out here and check it. When I was running it yesterday, it was not pumping water like it should off the side. So the first thing you're going to check is your impeller. So let me crawl down in here. Let me step back and show you kind of what I'm having to do. So here's the back of the boat, and we got our full camper shell in here, and I'm actually running a little heater here, so it's 55, 60 degrees in here, pretty nice. So that's where you come in. That's our entryway. And then this is underneath the back seat. So there's the helm, seating area up there. That's the front windshield. We have privacy curtains over the snap-in over the isinglass, so that way people can't see in, and kind of keeps it private in the wintertime. Anyway, so I had to pull this hatch, which is now sitting right here, and this gives me access to my generator. So I'm gonna crawl down in here. I'm sorry I'm filming this on my iPhone, but I forgot my other camera. So this thing has these little tabs that you pull loose right here, and they're kind of all over the place. Anyway, I'm going to put this phone down and take these out. Basically, you take all these little clips out, and then this case comes off and exposes the generator. Back in a second. Okay, here you see my Kohler 6.5 CZ23. Circa 1997. 6.5 kilowatts, I do believe what it is. Focus on there. There you go. It's got about 900 hours on it. We put 200 hours on it this summer. We spent a lot of money last year having it rebuilt. And I say rebuilt. We had a leak in the bottom of it, and it's where the oil was coming out. And so I basically just sent it over to a place in town, and they took the whole engine apart, spent $1,500, had it all redone. So it runs really good. Now, the impeller housing is right there. We also had that replaced to the tune of $400 because it was leaking. But there's actually 4 screws right here, and we're going to take those out. Oh, they're Allens. Holy crap. I thought those were Phillips. I'll have to make sure I've got Allen sets. If not, I'm going to have to make a long trek up to my van and get them out. So the first things first, I got to turn off that, or shut that seacock that's way back in there. I'll probably have to lift the other hatch up to do that. But anyway, I'm going to go find an Allen wrench, make sure I've got it before I do that. Now, while I'm in here, I'm going to check everything really, really good. I noticed in my pan down here, there's no oil or anything like that. I don't see anything that's really a problem yet. Yeah, it all looks nice and dry. It's awesome town right there. A little seepage around the oil dipstick right there. But gosh, it really is doing well for as much as we ran this thing. And we ran a couple of nights all night long. It ran for 10, 12 hours straight. So it's a good little Jenny. All right, I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna go find me some Allen wrenches. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Frisco Boater made a misdiagnosis. I guess I didn't completely go through everything to check it first. So I did have an Allen wrench in the toolbox. Took off the little plate on the back there. Looked in there, and I'll be darned if that impeller was perfectly fine. So first thing I did was I got down here and I looked, and this is called a kind of an air purge valve. It lets air into this little system right here, so that way it does not, it doesn't get what they call it, vapor lock or something like that, to see if maybe that was causing a problem. And this hose was shaking, like it would when I was running it, and where the exhaust comes out the side of the boat, it just was kind of spitting and wasn't really doing much at all. Yes, there was some water coming out, but it just wasn't enough. So I was like, man, there's air getting in the system. Well, what did I do that brought us to all this? I checked the strainer and cleaned the strainer out. I do that once a month if we've been using it, part of maintenance, which the strainer is down here, strainer housing. You see that? And then it follows over there, and then down there in the very bottom is the seacock, and that's where you open and close, and that's where it sucks it in from the outside. So anyway, I was like, hey, what's going on here? So I closed the seacock and opened the strainer down there, and it turns out that I put the strainer basket in backwards, and the top of this strainer was letting air in the system. It was not sealed correctly. So if it was sitting here, it wouldn't leak. But the minute you put it under vacuum, the vacuum was more than what was able to pull the water, and air being thinner than water went right underneath that seal. So bonehead move, didn't even check that first. However, now I've got an extra impeller, so if we're out running or something like that, the impeller decides to crap the bed, I've got a new one. So needless to say, the problem is solved. It runs like a champ. I need to put the zip ties back on this little thing right here, and it actually goes on that little piece right there. So anyway, I'm gonna get that back together. Appreciate you guys watching. Sorry I'm not on camera, but I can't turn this stupid iPhone around to face me, so you just have to listen to my voice. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon, and we'll do some more projects on this big boat soon.